Stan and Tim here from Scouting White, best ruckers in the business. So Timo, let's get into our sporting tips for this weekend. We've got the penultimate round of both the AFL and the NRL, the qualifying finals before the big one next week.
Yeah, look, both teams been long seasons for all four teams involved in both comps, and look, they're putting everything on the line. There's a few injuries to a couple of teams, which has spiced things up late in the week.
Yeah, and look, we've got European soccer, England, Spain. We've also got some NFL tips as well, so plenty of stuff to get through. Let's start with the AFL. So there's not a lot of value around the roughies, so I've decided to take both favourites in a multi. So Richmond $1.40, and they look like they might shit the comp in again. Into West Coast, who are at home against Melbourne, and that'll pay $2.60.
Yeah, West Coast are $1.80. That was pretty surprising for me. That looks like a pretty good bet going on later in the week, but their home ground, they'll get the 60,000 there. It'll be sold out, and I can't imagine many Melbourne fans will be there.
Yeah, and as I said, Richmond are they're $1.40. They're flying. They look like they're on the way. They're back to back-to-back flags. Melbourne, there's a bit of money around Melbourne, mainly because they're the fairy tale story. Haven't been to this far into a comp for 18 years. So, yeah, they're the fairy tale, but I think West Coast will be too strong over there. So $2.60 about that multi. Let's move on to the NRL, Timo. We've got another multi in the NRL. We'll start with the Storm. They should be too strong for the Sharks.
Yeah, I think they will be. Look, I've got a bet going at the moment, Cronulla to win the comp at $10. They were cruising a couple of weeks ago, Cronulla, with injuries. They had all their stars. There was a lot of people back sitting on the bench or in reserve grade. It's not the case at the moment. In the last couple of weeks, they've been ravaged by injuries, and Melbourne look to be in a bit better spot than them. Yeah,
Wade Graham wasn't enough. He's massive on that left edge. Losing Paul Gallen, who gets through 25 hit-ups and 50 tackles a game, that's going to be very hard to replace for Cronulla. So I can see Melbourne being too strong down there. I'm going to multi them up with the Rabbitohs. I'm a big Rabbitohs fan, so I don't usually like tipping them. Look, Latrell Mitchell is out. He's a big out for the Roosters, and everybody's forgetting Dylan Napper's not there either.
Yeah, he's the big man in the middle that was likely to put the sword to the Burgess brothers. That's just another thing that they're missing. If the Roosters pack can stand up to them, I think, but I think they're just lacking on troops in that middle third to stand up to the big South pack.
Yeah, look, there's a bit of injury cloud over Takiaho as well in the front row for the Roosters, so they're a bit down on troops at the moment. South, for me, news has just come through that all players have been cleared, so I think big Sammy Burgess will have a lot to prove this weekend. I can see him having a man-of-the-match performance, and South's getting the bicky, so that's $2.70 for that multi if you're interested, guys. All right, we're going to the championship, Timo. You found one in the championship.
Yeah, look, I really like Norwich versus QPR. They've both won back-to-back games, but look, QPR played a couple of minnows, Bolton and Reading. Don't really fancy that form sort of thing. Norwich beat Middlesbrough, who were undefeated and were winning the comp, knocked them off away from home. So Norwich are starting to hit their straps. They'll be looking to get a promotion, and they're on a bit of a roll here, so they'll be looking to string together a couple of wins. And at $2.80, that's pretty good odds for me. Yeah,
in those form lines you spoke about, both teams, both back-to-back wins, so they're both two on the trot, but that win against Middlesbrough stands out for Norwich for me. So the $2.80, that looks like a pretty good form guide. All right, Timo, on to the Premier League, mate. What do you like there?
I like Watford. Saturday night, 9:30 game against Fulham. Watford were undefeated until they come up against Man United. They put in a really good performance against them, 2-1. They were unlucky not to get a point. They created a lot of chances, and I think they're still on the upward spiral, Watford, and I don't think that'll go against them. Fulham are struggling a little bit, and at $2.88, I'm happy to get on.
Yeah, fair enough. Look, I like Newcastle at $3.60 versus Crystal Palace this weekend. Palace had a win last week, but before that, they were on a bit of a slippery dip down the table. Newcastle's form isn't good at all, but if you look through the games that they've played Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, and all gone down by the odd goal to those four teams. So 2-1 in every single one of those games, which is a bit unheard of. But I like Newcastle here, $3.60. I think this is a good opportunity for them to put a win on the board and start climbing up that table. We're off to Spain, so I found Alaves. Alaves have popped up at $3.50 versus Rayo Vallecano. Alaves sitting 7th, Vallecano 18th. Alaves coming off back-to-back wins in La Liga. Vallecano had a win last week, but before that were pointless in the La Liga. So the $3.50 for me about Alaves looks like pretty good value. And finally, we've got some NFL going on. Timo, I see the Tennessee Titans had a win last week, mate.
Yeah, without our star man as well, Mariota, he sat on the pine the whole game. I don't mind the new quarterback, to be honest. He's a bit more consistent and can stay on the field a bit longer, hopefully. So
Yeah, well, I've got the New Orleans Saints $2.15 versus Atlanta. Now, I tipped against Atlanta last weekend against Carolina. They got the job done, Atlanta, but this weekend, not only have they got those season-ending injuries to their best defensive players, they've also had their star wide receiver sit out practice this week with a calf injury, and they've also lost another defender for this week's game as well. So they're really struggling depth-wise. New Orleans, it's a division game. Both teams are 1-1. I'll take New Orleans at $2.15 on the road there against Atlanta. And finally, this will be the Tuesday morning game. Tampa Bay, they're on fire at the moment. Fitz Magic, he came out looking like Conor McGregor in the press conference, had his chest hair out and everything. They're $2 against a very, very average Pittsburgh team who have players not showing up, who have players jumping on Twitter wanting to be traded.
yeah,
They're at 6s and 7s, the Steelers. So the $2 about Tampa, who have, I think they've put up over 400 yards in both games and 9 touchdowns or something like that in their first 2 games. So that's pretty good value for me. Timo, you got anything else, mate?
that's it, mate. Big weekend of sports, semi-finals, so can't wait to get into it.
Yeah, massive weekend in the racing as well, guys. Make sure you head over to our social pages, check out our racing tips for Saturday as well, and happy punting.
And gamble responsibly. Thanks, guys.